Oh, I guess we're live again. Oh. Oh, and it's unlisted now? That's cool. Well, this is a problem. Well, I guess everybody needs to re-fucking join the stream. That sucks. Yeah, just rejoin the entire stream. That's cool. Internet died, lol, at everyone. Good God. It's the worst feeling and the worst, absolute worst feeling. You're good. Fuck off. The fucking chat room. Yeah, restore the fucking chat. It's the fuck, it's just the worst fucking feeling. When YouTube informs you, is this the right one? When YouTube informs you that your stream is dead and you have to restart with a new one, and people just think that your stream's over, and now I'm just not going to even have the same, anywhere close to the same amount of people watching, because YouTube just decides, no, your stream's over! Oh, I guess you're done! Alright, that's over then, we're done now! And now it's just a new link, and people don't even know I'm fucking live now, and I have to ping people again, and everybody has to join a new fucking chat room, because my internet decided to disconnect for like 5 seconds. And so the entire fucking stream has to be completely discombobulated. That's just such a cool thing. That's such a great thing. Go fuck yourself. Eat a dick.
Really hard attention to me.
Watch the video.
Like I said later, it seemed like she might have wanted me to talk to her. I'm not sure about it. Like, why did she resurface again right when I was leaving the pharmacy? Was it really a coincidence?
Definitely a coincidence.
But anyway.
But anyway, back to it.
It's the and yes, I am somewhat regretting it, but I'm not feeling really sad because I am
regretting not talking to the child, not getting her deets. I guess
not a hopeless person. I'm always thinking
there's always more children on the in Israel, dude. I'm sure you're gonna. Don't worry. I'm sure there's more. There's plenty of fish. There is always something to gain in the future. Maybe I will meet the same girl again in the future. Yeah, maybe in like 4 years or something. Someone like her, or someone like her who I like even more. Oh. And she doesn't have to be 14 years old. Doesn't have to be, but I guess that's not off the table. It just that I liked that particular 14 years old. It was just that there was something very special about that specific 14-year-old, if you must know. Thank you. Thank you, fucking nosy. But there are some unique traits to dating or having a sexual relationship with a girl like her. Yeah, there's a pretty there's one pretty abnormal trait about that. You know, with a small 14-year-old body and yeah, there's definitely some problems there. What you getting at here, Tamir? Where you going with this one, Tamir? Those small feminine hands is that, first of all, yesterday I was complaining about the miniature Asian jeans that my parents gave me. Oh, tiny dick, tiny dick, tiny dick. Tiny dick! He's a small dick, tiny dick! He's got a little penis, tiny dick! He's got a small dick, tiny dick! So he wouldn't even really hurt that 14-year-old if you think about it. Oh, no, that's definitely, Curse these small Asian genes I have been given! Cursed be! In a child
like hands and fingers who are even shorter than the average length of a woman's fingers, basically the hand of a child. And overall body structure that seems...
You know, the book podcast I like, there was a number of books that they read that were like, you know, they were bad books, and they would continually... A continuing theme throughout those books would be describing a woman, like a sexy, attractive woman, by being like, her long, slender fingers... And that was supposed to be like sexy and attractive, and it always just made me think of like death with like bone fingers. The long, sexy, feminine, attractive, bony fingers, I guess.
And gentle, despite my fairly tall height, which is 1.8 meters. And also, unfortunately, a very small penis, only...
I mean, you know, the thing is... Yay, he said it! The thing is that, you know, we were talking about his hands and stuff, and his fingers and things like that, his features. But then, yeah, no, he's so willing to just say things without us asking for the information that he will just also inform us that you don't even have to extrapolate and be like, he means he has a small... No, no, he's just gonna say it. He's just gonna say it, so...
4-inch, which is in no way...
Just for 4-inch, it's in no way...
good enough.
No.
For a grown-up woman who would really prefer between 6 to 8 inches.
I guess we're gonna have to do the Mama Max video. If we wind up with like, if I get privacy complainted because of this fucking guy and his weird issues, then I guess that's on your head, Alan Sampson. But thank you for the $100 and 1 cent Mama Maxing time, and I want to thank Cyrus, our Wrangler, Gondre, Nutmeg, Imber, Sleepy, Peter the Griffin, Lois, Mega Man, Shadow, the Hedgehog, Durzo Blint, Stigaflin, Belwar Disengulp, the 365 pages. I forget, guys. That's 372 pages. Terry Pratchett and the users on the server. Well, that's a big collection of people right there. Shoutouts to my boy Belwar. Shoutouts to my boy Clacker, honestly. So, pour one out for my homie. You know, yeah, I guess we'll do the Mama Max stuff, but we do have a little more Tamir to get through here.
Definitely not.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Than 6, and preferably a 7 or more.
I mean, this is definitely porn brain man too, who thinks that he needs like a fucking 12-inch cock to make a woman feel it or something. Yeah. I mean, I think the micro might be you know, a little bit. That's a little unfortunate. But you can work. I'm sure. Listen, Elon Musk is very successful, so don't worry.
I only have 4. It's a very tiny penis for a grown-up woman.
Well, I mean, I was joking before. You know, I said that thing before, and people in chat were like, "Wait a minute, Claw, no!" But now he's actually saying that, and that's actually what he's getting at. That's actually the point that he's making now. That's actually the point that he's making now.
And preferably a 7 or more. But I only have 4. It's a very tiny penis for a grown-up woman.
As a sex offender,
and I think
I'm quite surprised by this.
It would be dissatisfying on both ends. Both the woman would be dissatisfied, and also what I feel that the penetration of a grown-up woman's vagina, which is...
He is too small-dicked for a grown woman. That's the point. That's the end game of this video.
A big for my tiny penis. It wouldn't feel so good for me either. And that...
So clearly you see, there's only one solution.
Until my penis becomes larger anyhow.
Yeah, he's saying it's child size. That's what he's saying. His cock comes in a box of 30 for Halloween, individually wrapped.
It's not a practical expectation to enjoy a sex life with a grown-up woman. But a 14-year-old girl like...
Okay, now I think maybe the police would get involved. I think at this point now it's possible that the police would get involved. This is a pretty fucking clear statement of intent right here. I never thought that this was actually what this vid... Like, I was gonna... There's always the joke of, like, he's a child molester. I bet it's just because his dick's small, because he's a fucking loser. But, like, this is actually what... This is, like, legitimately his logic right now, is that, well, my dick is very, very tiny, so... Ergo...
Her with her small body, and possibly a smaller, tighter vagina, then it could be actually enjoyable for both me.
Don't say these things, you shouldn't be thinking them, but you also should definitely not say them on a video you put on YouTube, you fucking... What the fuck, Tamir? You know, but it is always, maybe it's better this way, because, I mean, I don't want to be all Mama Max, Camden Gerard Davis, and, like, you know, this is where this guy lives, but, like, you know, with this guy and that Foxwolf dude, it's like, hey... Maybe the authorities should know. Maybe they should know. Because we know where he, like, generally lives and what his full name is. And that other guy... I don't know. That other... Foxwolf was posting his whole fucking P.O. box and everything on there. And his town and all that shit. And his full name and all that. Tamir, this is... How is this video still on YouTube?
And her. And also those small feminine hands.
Find him!
Head with those stylish fingers.
I don't know how we would... Stylish fingers. I don't know how we would manage to have small dick be a thing on the bingo, because, like, I don't know how often that would come up. You know, no pun intended. But, like, I don't know if that would really be necessary on the bingo. I think it would be funny. But I feel like it would be very difficult to score a bingo with small dick. If we had it now, then that would be, you know, that would really be the great moment, and that would be a great moment, but...
Nails and the way she moved her hands, her fingers, like they arched backwards, which is really feminine. Appearance.
Well, yeah, Tamir is a complete schizo. He talks, I mean, even over and above the shit with the Shins woman or whatever, he talks about, yeah, portals and just a bunch of weird shit with numbers. I forget what the number thing was, where it was like, I am doing 15 a day, and I am on my way to becoming 55, and soon I will transport that into 20, and I don't know, it's like it's like, hut! I don't know what he's getting at with all that, but that's another element of it, is some weird numerology fucking time cube shit. He's fully insane. And, yeah, I mean, I hate to end the gravy train, but it's like, I don't know, if I was in the Israel area, I would probably not feel comfortable knowing that this guy was free. That's what I'll say.
Of women's hands and fingers that males do not do or even possess. I thought that it might even be very pleasing for those little feminine hands with stylish fingernails to
stylish fingernails
touch my private area.
Yeah, so this is directly him saying that he wants the 14-year-old to touch his cock. This is I was saying before, like, well, okay, he did say the thing about not necessarily. I'm like, the police probably wouldn't get involved with that. Like, you know, it's just shit. It's just like it's just careful enough. But now, I mean, this is direct. This is pretty direct. I don't see how you could get more direct than this. That would be the quote that you have like outlined in red on the fucking To Catch a Predator. Like, why did you come here? I thought that it would be nice for her stylish fingernails to be on my... And, you know, that's the moment when all the housewives, like, ah! You know, it scenes like this that made Chris Hansen become a celebrity.
And maybe give me a hand job.
A hand job, huh?
And I would have really enjoyed it. I've been thinking about it for a while now, that I would be very pleased with hands that look really gentle and feminine of either a woman or a girl.
Either a woman or a girl, the two genders.
Preferably with nice fingernails too, touching my private area, even if they don't give me a handjob, even if they don't make me come, even if they don't even touch me naked. All the
why do you think he might be so sweaty right now, chat members?
Probably they do.
Have you ever seen a man's nose be so sweaty? I mean, I don't think I've ever... You get, like, the sweat rolls from your forehead down onto your, like, the tip of your nose and, like, drips off or whatever. That's, like, the common thing. I've never seen what looks like sweat formulating, like, beads of sweat formulating in real time on someone's bulbous-ass nose.
I would enjoy such hands touching my private area. And this is why, specifically, I would have enjoyed being with a girl like her. But
do you think his penis sweats too?
There are other reasons also, is that I am attracted to youth, you see, that which is...
Fuck it. Fuck it. Wish they were a kid again. Fuck it. Fuck this. Fuck you.
Young. I'm not saying that I'm attracted to children. I'm saying that...
No, that would be crazy.
I'm attracted to life.
Life, right. Joie de vivre.
Being young, it's a very attractive thing.
It's a very attractive thing.
And also that the young person is more likely to be fresh, which is a great thing also.
Fresh.
Because I'm also fresh. I have never...
Fresh. Oh, because you're a fucking virgin, right.
Had a sexual experience in my life. So that's
also... Oh, this is just the worst, most incriminating thing you've ever seen. This is... I would say archive this video, but I don't know if you want this on your hard drives. But I can imagine YouTube taking this down if he doesn't first, if he doesn't get to it first. But this is a remarkably, I mean, this is, he's saying everything he needs to say and so much more, you know?
So a big bonus. So if I'm fresh, why wouldn't I begin with a person?
This is legit evidence.
So it's a nice thing. Yeah, and I really wish that I could be in a relationship with either this girl or someone who is like her. I wish that.
Like her.
I think that it can be a great thing.
And it's a relationship too. So I mean, once she gets to be of full size body, you know, she's no longer going to be fit for your tiny pecker, your little, your fun size Snickers of a penis. So I guess you'll have to just cast her aside, you know, it'd be like, get out of here, loose vaginaed 18-year-old, I want nothing to do with you. Is that what it's gonna be? I guess he's gonna have to move on to a younger model once she becomes legal. It's gonna be a very difficult. I don't know, Tamir. You might want to not do this. This. I mean, leaving aside the illegality and immorality of it, it just doesn't seem practical. I mean,
Yes. There was one case in which I was really interested in a girl who may have also been very young, maybe she was like 15 or 16 years old, but to be honest, I don't know what her age was. Maybe she was older, but she looked very young. And I even remember the exact date. It was the 23rd of November 2016, and
the exact date, and it was in 2016. Why do you remember the exact date? Did you like save picture? I think one of the scariest things in this video is that he remembers the exact date in 2016 when he encountered a girl who was young who he wanted to fuck. And he just remembered the specific date and carried that with him for years now, and he can rattle off the date like it's his mom's birthday.
On
Jesus Christ.
My way to the gymnastic class in another city on a bus of number 274, and
what the fuck?
Another city.
Wait.
On my way to the gymnastic class in another city on a bus of number 274, and I was with my laptop, or tablet rather.
He remembers every moment of the occasion when he from across a bus saw some girl that he was too old for at the time even, and now he still thinks about it.
Microsoft Surface.
He remembers the specific tablet that he had at the time.
And there was this girl sitting in front of me. She looked so beautiful to me. She had blonde hair and I think blue eyes. I don't remember exactly what color her eyes were. And she had this really bright and youthful skin. She may have been a teenager. I don't know how old she was. But then she left rather quickly, and I didn't...
For some reason, she didn't want to be on that bus with me. I don't know why.
To neither get her phone number or even talk to her. And I regretted it so hard, and I never saw her again in my life. And I had such a serious crush on that girl. I kept thinking...
Such a serious crush on that girl that I saw on a bus for 5 seconds who was 15 or 16. Serious crush. Serious crush. Really lost out there. You know, again, that's your Hollywood romance movie, like meet cute, really. You know, you're the meat and she was the cute.
Thinking about her for months. I think that this is the only case...
For some reason, she ran away.
Where I was really interested, but at that time I was interested like really hard in a girl who might have been like 15 years old. But she may have... It's hard to tell sometimes. She may have been 18 also. I mean, I didn't ask what her age was. Yeah, but that's another story. Anyway. I sometimes really like young girls. I may even prefer them to... I may prefer teenagers to older women.
You never see it coming. I mean, you absolutely see it coming, though. I mean, but it's just, that's just more... This video's 25 minutes long. It doesn't need to be this long, but he does... It is pretty action-packed, where it just kind of gets worse and worse with more evidence and more, you know, verbal, you know, admitting to various things that he wants and would do and has done and has felt. And this is a video that the hits don't stop in this one. We're almost done, though.
I never see teenagers. You see, when I go out, which is during daytime, all I see is old women. Because all the young people are either at school or at work. And I'm talking...
This user is the minor molester. And furthermore, he is the chode haver. And if you would believe it, in addition to all of that, this user is the nose sweater.
All the ages that are young, which are either children, teenagers, or young adults, or even people of my age, which are over 30, they're all either at school or at work, any type of school, including college or university. Every one of them is either studying or working. And all the old...
So it's weird to him, like, all the other people that are my age have a life and are working and studying and stuff, and meanwhile, I'm just Tamir. I'm just Tamir. Anywhere else I'd be a
people who are doing basically nothing. They go out and all I see outside is old people, and I very rarely get to see a teenage girl.
Fuso, you just walked into the most incriminating video of 2024.
But I actually think that I really like teenage girls. Because they are young and they're already mature enough for sexuality, both legally and logically.
Not legally, literally not legally. He is set. His reasoning for they're legally old enough is because I guess Germany or some other country in fucking Europe has that, but like he lives in Israel. He has specifically said that the age of consent is 16 in Israel, and so he's saying legally. No, they absolutely are not legally, not where you live.
And in the factually, like I said, in this case, that this 14 years old girl, she also had this smaller body, which is possibly good for my smaller physical features, also, especially my tiny penis.
Yeah, exactly.
Which limits me from having sex with women who are fully grown up.
I mean, I wouldn't worry. There's a lot that's limiting you from
that's
sex.
All I have to say about
that's not that.
This topic.
That's all he has to say about that one. Hang on, I'm lighting a go away evil real quick. There we go. The evil is going away. Oh wait, this is Everest. Okay, well I guess we're not gonna go. The evil's not going away, but oh, he's 4 inches apparently. Bane, you really missed a video. You gotta watch this video. This is a great video. His actual reasoning is, well, my penis is really small, so it would be better for me and the girl if I had sex with a 14-year-old. That's his whole thing. So that's that. Now, unfortunately, we have to watch a video about Mama Max. Well, from Mama Max. Thank you to Alan Sampson for the thank you to Alan Sampson for the $100.01 that has brought us to do this. He has a new video here. He also unprivated this one. Which is funny because there was a real, I mean, so the last time we watched Max, it was after this stream where the wheels really fell off hard on his whole, alleged grift. The wheels really started to fall off hard, and people were really grilling him left and right. Mutahar showed up and was basically very disappointed, and it's kind of deflated the whole thing. The next day we watched it on stream. One of the fellas who was on the stream who like restreamed a bunch of his stream, Max's, was lyrics, whatever it's spelled as. He got some kind of takedown thing from Max, which from what I saw was worded in this very, like, mob boss sort of way, like, why don't you take this down and we won't have a problem, kind of thing. Not exact words, but that was sort of the vibe. And the reason for the takedown of the, like, re-upload of his stream, this one here, this 8-hour stream, the reason he was wanting to take that down was because there was some there was some personal identifying information in the stream. In this stream, where for a not insignificant portion of it, Lurix is trying to ask Max why he would be doxing people's entire names and where they live and everything, based on having no evidence of any wrongdoing, and like literally not even the actual person, not even Camden, but his family getting doxed. And Max had no real answer other than, well, first names are not full names are not personal identifying information. So it's highly strange then that he decided to go after somebody for apparently on Max's stream. It's his fault, by the way. He was the one that allowed this to happen. Max did. He allowed somebody, one of the alleged victims, their name flashed on the screen or something. And, like, full name, I guess. That was, like, their Discord name. And so he is blaming Lurix for that, I guess. I don't know if that's still happening, because the stream's up now. Maybe it got edited out. Maybe he just realized that didn't matter. But it's just funny that full names are not personal identifying information, except when, I guess, he can use that as a privacy takedown complaint kind of deal. So there was that. I'll make sure I'm still streaming here. Where the fuck are we? There we go. Here, I will put the Max thing. Max stuff now. We'll put that in the thing, because I know people are watching that lately. Yeah, so that happened, and then Max, Mutahar started talking more about his take on the whole thing and how flimsy this entire case is, and how Max has probably ruined any chance that these people might have had at getting justice if they, if that's something that was needed. Of course, the other element is more people are starting to look at all of this. I mean, in general, everybody is just turned on Max. More people are starting to look at his whole fucking career and be like, most of what you've done has been, like, made up, and oh god, we're not even, so there was a good video from the Lurix person, that I guess basically most of it was just him calling Max a fraudster and a scammer and a grifter, like, full stop, which is pretty, he's probably gonna sue you, but I don't know that he actually, I don't know that he has the funds to do that. I mean, but, calling Max a grifter pretty openly and just saying things like that. There was an interesting part in that video that was like, yeah, I mean, he apparently faked elements of the IMVU thing. He just the guy that made the whole video talking about him and his exes and all of that shit, which apparently also that is just a whole other fucking can of worms. That's like, most of the claims there also look like they're bullshit. So really, this is, as we discovered last time, by the way, this is just going to be users eating users. This is going to be, we gotta lower the Sangi at least a little bit. This is going to be users eating users. This is going to be another StreamYard exposed video situation, but with, like, more production value and more eyes on it. That's essentially what we're looking at here. So anyway, the long and short of it, since the last time we looked at this whole thing, more people are starting to recognize that Max is full of shit. More people are starting to recognize the way that he's acting is very egotistical and self-centered. More people are starting to recognize that the whole thing that with this Camden guy looks like just a bunch of vindictive, like, exes or something, or even worse. I don't know. My theory at one point is all of this just trying to, like, I don't know, distract from the allegations against him or something. I don't know. But it's not looking good. People are not supporting him. If there wasn't stuff like Viper kidnapping a woman and another dead person being found in his house, then Muda would probably already have made his fucking video talking about this whole thing. I know people are. People certainly are now. And let me just say, the bounty that he has given the internet with these stupid Edgemaster pictures of himself, like he did this photo shoot, I guess, where he looks all like sad boy, fuck boy, emo, and then this is the famous one. This is the famous one. This one and another one where he just, I don't know why he decided to allow the internet to have this image of himself, but boy, it's sure being used a lot here. You can see a little of the other one here. Response fail. I really don't want to get into the drama of all of this. You know, I don't want to be involved. I don't want to be one of the annoying, loud people, clout chasing motherfuckers that shows up on his stream, or talking about him or whatever. The epic commentary community of super cool commentary individuals. I don't think I'm. I don't necessarily conform to that. That's hashtag not my commentary community. I guess I'm just saying I don't need to turn my stream into epic max drama. But, you know, for the $100 that Alan Sampson gave, we'll watch here. I place accountability in my own hands. He is, thank you once again, Alan Sampson. And thank you also to Mega Man and Sonic the Hedgehog and Tony Sonic's grandpa. This is apparently not being received very well. You will see here if the dislikes show up. Oh, the dislikes might not be showing up. He might have like disabled dislikes or something. Because if I go here, no, YouTube is being fucky.
A predator with 4.
Yeah, YouTube is just being fucky, and the dislike button is not working again, even though I have the thing that's supposed to return them. But I saw it earlier, and it's not great. People are not really supporting this so much. Let's see what happens.
So I just completed a 30-minute video.
Wow, we're a little too fast. Slow down, Speed Racer.
Called Silencing All Survivors. That addresses pretty much everything. It addresses criticisms. It addresses my approach. It includes apologies. It includes...
Yeah, he's not doing the fucking spooky voice for this, but apparently this video is monetized. The apology video about how he's totally not using child sex abuse victims for money and attention. He apparently is. This video is, at least as of a few hours ago, I saw that it was monetized. So maybe it wasn't. I mean, to be fair, it might have just been YouTube deciding to do that, but you'd think that they probably wouldn't on a video like this. I think YouTube can just shove ads onto your videos without your consent now. So to be fair, that might have been what happened. But, I mean, I feel like YouTube would be the last fucking people to try and shove ads into a video like this. So, I don't know. After all the money does go to the survivors, so...
A call to action on Camden. A little bit of information about everything, like...
We will speed it up a little here. Oh, it's so apology video. I just hate this already. I just feel like it's interesting. He reminds me... One of the ways that he reminds me of Onision, people have pointed out that he's similar to Onision in some ways. One of the ways that he reminds me of Onision is this prevailing feeling of, like, you seem to have, like, surrounded yourself and cultivated an audience of people who are... I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but, like, I guess dumb enough to... like, buy this. Like, I don't know, just all the kind of shit that he does. It's like, yeah, I guess the people that like you are willing to believe this, but you need to recognize that the rest of the world, if they, you know, pay a little more attention to what you're doing, it's very odd and very immediately, like, pretty obvious what you're doing. I will say, he did have everybody... I don't know what we were all doing. I think I was even on his side. I don't know what we were... I think everybody was just so mad at YouTube that when we saw him being like, yeah, and they took down my video because sex predators and YouTube, they must also be pedophile. I think even at the time I was like, Well, that's probably going a little far, but yeah, YouTube's bad. Yeah, fuck that. Yeah. But like, man, I don't know how all the like answer us pedo tube and all of that. I don't know how nobody else I don't know how all of us were collectively just like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, he's just pressuring this website into like reinstating his video that had nudity in it because they're pedophiles or something. That's fine. That's fucking completely insane. But I guess a bunch of people were able to be like taken in by that. So maybe we are all stupid. Maybe I'm also very stupid. But I don't know. You just like it's like you really think that the like heavy sigh, dramatic, long pause bullshit is gonna really like help? I'm gonna remove the bingo now. By the way, I guess we won't bother to play bingo with this one. I mean, I won't, but feel free to do a bingo on your own time, I guess. But no, I mean, I just like it you know, maybe your like 15-year-old teen girl audience is going to like swoon and believe you because, you know, they're easily influenced, but like I kind of feel like most people are gonna look at this and go, this is the most, I mean, already we're 40 seconds in and it's just these like heavy pauses and like
on Camden. A little bit of information about everything, like
I didn't want to have to make this video, guys.
But I showed it to some trusted friends and the survivors. Some people loved it. Some people had a few criticisms, and then some people hated it and told me not to upload it.
Yeah, speaking of trusted friends, by the way, one thing I think it was the FPS Diesel video about Max and his whole career. There was an interesting thing in that where apparently Max already threw a bunch of people under the bus. Well, like, he already did it with, like, Corpse Husband and him apparently don't like each other, which is very funny to me for some reason. Just these two grown men that pitch down their voice to appeal to 12-year-old girls are both feuding over, like, I guess one of them said the dreaded R slur, and the other retard was upset by that, I guess. I don't know exactly what happened. But yeah, they're mad at each other. But then the big ones were Charlie and Philly D. He already, like, threw them under the bus at some point in the past, apparently. There was one of the other fucking, like, 6 or 7 hashtag campaigns for attention and influencer awareness that he's done in the past. Like, Charlie and Philly D, I guess they didn't respond to it. So he already tried to have, like, a fit about them, you know, basically like what he did with Charlie this time, but to a lesser degree. That already happened, like, twice. One of the times was with Charlie. And so it's like, yeah, I wonder why he wasn't so willing to fucking, you know, watch your video this time. I don't know, I just found that funny. There's a lot of little things about him, like, that I didn't necessarily know, and you watch the thing and like, wow, yeah, you've really just been operating like this for several years now. I was going to point out also, I think, yeah, it was the FPS Diesel video. I think I said it was in the lyrics video, and I trailed off, but no, I believe it was in the FPS Diesel video. There was a great part where he goes over this dude's, and I don't, you know, it's old content. It's old content, but it's his, like, just straight up incel rants that he used to do. Max, I mean, you know, again, it's old stuff. You don't necessarily hold someone to that standard now, but apparently he used to do, like, full-on incel rant videos about why my mom hates me and no woman will touch me and things like that. And also there was one part where he did, like, slam poetry about hentai. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I just thought that was also something else that was interesting that I learned about Max. I don't know. Anyways, back to it.
I've got people telling me just talk about the case and nothing else. I've got people telling me just address the criticisms. I've got people telling me just apologize. I feel like I'm being pulled in every which way. And no matter how hard I try, I cannot make everyone happy. I'm trying to prioritize the survivors over myself.
Of course. Obviously. I would never suggest otherwise, Max. you've demonstrated in your life that you are the least important person in your life. It's all about the survivors. It's all about them. It always has been. Absolutely.
Where do I put like the general public in that priority list? It's very difficult.
Well, it's all about extinction, isn't it? We're all gonna die of a fucking extinction because of the sex trafficking or something. So I guess the general public is also, aren't they also, they kind of also count as survivors if you think about it. They're future survivors. So, you know, it's understandable, Max. You got a whole lot heavy on your shoulders, you know.
I feel like I'm in an impossible position where I just can't seem to do the right thing.
He does look like late 60s Paul McCartney. This is very helter-skelter Paul McCartney. I'll give him that. He reminds me of another person that makes me think happy thoughts and less negativity.
And I'm sorry.
But on that note, then there's also makes him his Mansonisms a little weirder. Both Marilyn and Charlie.
I'm sorry I can't make all of you happy. I'm sorry to Charlie for dragging him into a case that is not necessarily his fight.
That's not even the fucking point of it, though. It's that it would have maybe been his fight if there was proof or evidence. I mean, shit, like, it can't be understated. I didn't even want to get into, like, his whole personal life drama and the shit with his, like, exes and stuff, but it's kind of relevant to all of this, so you kind of can't not bring it up. I mean, the allegations against him, many of them seem to be kind of full of shit as well, but then there's enough from that seems more... like, there's like more to that, I would say, than anything I've seen from him and this Camden guy. I mean, the most convincing shit I've seen from him, from Max, about this whole thing being real, would probably be, like, the screen caps, which are, you know, easily faked, I guess, and also easily cherry-picked, but I don't know, I guess I believe that a little bit more than some of the, you know, testimony. It's a little bit more, it seems a little bit more like some kind of evidence of something, but, like, yeah, no, I think there's more proof of the actual, like, shit against him than there is of any of the stuff he's saying about this vampire guy, or werewolf. It's a real testament to how little I know about this fucking thing after all of the streams I've done about this, that I still don't even remember, he runs a vampire cult, but he's a werewolf. Okay, I do remember now because I used the clip from Bloods vs. Wolves where the guy goes, "I'm a werewolf, bitch!" And so I remember that now. So he's a werewolf, but I guess the other people involved are vampires. Somebody raised an interesting point in, like, a comment section, I think it might have been, like, the Nicholas Diorio video talking with Mudahar or something. Somebody raised an interesting point that was like, you know, this might have, the whole vampire thing, the vampire werewolf sex cult, it may have just been like a fucking, like, RP thing that kind of went out of hand. Like, it may well have just been, you know, some people in high school RPing about being a vampire or something, and then, shenanigans. You know, maybe it got a little too real or something. Maybe, I don't know. But there was some point about that, like, it might have all originated from some kind of RP thing that somebody took too seriously. Potentially. You know, and I don't know, I wouldn't know about that, but I just thought that was an interesting point to bring up.
I'm sorry.
There's definitely theories about all this. But he's very sorry in general, he's very sorry.
I'm sorry to my audience who don't even know what the heck is going on. Like,
I feel like this is like the Dogs Eating Dogs 6 apology, though, because we're like 2.5 minutes in, and all he's outside of being like, oh, I made this video, and I was gonna, you know, I didn't want to make this video, guys, that whole thing. He's just kind of going like, I'm sorry for being mean to Family Guy, and I'm sorry, and it's like, I hear that you're saying it, but I don't necessarily, and I see that you're definitely trying to look remorseful. It really is. It's like the Dogs Eating Dog 6 video where he has like the sad Mario music playing. And he's like, I'm very sorry I was harassing kids. Da 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 da. Fucking. This is like that, but it's just a little more edgy. And instead of the sad music, he's doing the whole. It's similar. It's like you can say the word sorry. I just don't know that necessarily matters that much.
Doing shorts. I'm doing live streams. I'm doing weird ass videos. Just trying to find the remaining survivors of Camden Gerard Davis. That has always been the goal for this awareness campaign. And while it's worked...
So he's apologizing, but he's still doubling down on this guy, the survivors of this guy. I really, genuinely, truly hope that this Camden guy is able to sue him. I really hope he's able to sue him. This is so... I mean, because at least then you would have to prove... He'd have to, like, prove his innocence to some extent in court, wouldn't he? And be like, no, this is slander and libel, and I didn't do this, and here's some evidence of how... I mean, that would be like proving a negative. I don't know how exactly it works, but, like... I mean, at least that would do something to bring this whole fucking thing to court, you know? I mean... God, you shouldn't be allowed to just say this shit and the only evidence you have is somebody said so it's true. I had this thought while I was watching, I think the FPS Diesel video, and he was talking about, like, you know, all of these allegations that Max has against him, and I remember all the times that I was like, is Max doing this as, like, a parody? As, like, some kind of... You know, like, the whole point is that there's no proof, and people are supposed to be mad, and, like, this is all a performance kind of deal. A performative stunt. And I started to think that there might be some credibility to that, just because, like, maybe he's trying to make a point about how easy it is to ruin people's lives with no proof, and this is supposed to be about, like, the Magnetar thing, and the women that accused him and all this stuff, and it's like, if that's the point you're making, you did a pretty bad job of it, but at least that would be better than all of this shit. I mean, if Camden Gerard Davis is just some guy that they know, and that's not his real name, and it's all just, this is just some shit, like, unlikely, but, man, I mean, that would at least be something, but... No, I don't think so.
I'm respected. It's also caused a lot of issues. I don't want to cause issues. I want to resolve these issues. I don't want any... I don't want beef with anyone. Like,
oh my god, that's so full of shit. That's so full of shit. He's admitted as much than saying that, like... The only way I get my video, I mean, the survivors' stories to be heard and get any attention is with drama. And like gussying up the video with stuff that's not real for like more dramatic effect. And like he has admitted that he's admitted that he wants drama and attention. So of course you want beef. You invite anybody who's willing to come onto your stream on so that they'll like, you know, raise your viewer counts. Of course you fucking want drama. Who do you think you're fooling? This is what I mean. Like, maybe you could pull the wool over the eyes of the fucking people that follow you, that, like, support you, because you've cultivated an audience of pretty easily gullible people. You know, willingness to get into a vampire cult notwithstanding. Pretty gullible people seem to be Max's fans, and you know, like maybe they'll be willing to believe that you're just innocent and don't want any beef, but I mean, you've done this like 5 times, at least 3 times now. He's at least 3 times tried to do like a YouTube wake up hashtag campaign, send this to your influencers kind of deal. I mean, this was the most blatant recently and the most confusing, but the other times were the same, where it was like, hey, Mr. Beast, please signal boost my thing, because YouTube are full of pedophile supporters because, like, my video got taken down or something. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think you might want beef. In my opinion, I would say I believe that you want beef and drama.
I want to communicate openly. I'm trying to communicate with my peers. And I'm trying to listen to dissenting voices. I'm trying.
But they're just all so wrong, though. And none of them are survivors. Look off screen.
I'm trying to listen.
Look off screen to Spencer for support.
To voices I trust, too. And every single person is telling me something different.
Are they really? Are they all telling you different things? I find that hard to believe. I mean, like, I find it easy to believe that the people who might also be profiting off of all of this, like potentially Spencer, who's apparently the one in charge of all of the money that's being made here, or something. That was basically what was said, was like, she's responsible for the funding, and something like that. Some phrasing like that. So, like, maybe she might have some differing opinions about what to do here. But I kind of think the general public of, you know... I think most people who have any kind of brain probably have kind of come to the same opinion, kind of come to the same destination on this one.
And I don't know what to do. And that's why I've been asking for help. People say, just wait for law enforcement to do something.
I'm so glad I turned the fucking speed up on this video. I mean, it's only 1.25, but, like, the long fucking empty pauses for dramatic effect to show how shaken up he is about the things, like, that you have caused. Like, he is now the survivor of the YouTube hate mob. He's now one of the survivors, everybody. Maybe not of Camden, but... He's as much of a victim as everybody else, as at least based on his body language here. That seems to be the takeaway.
We've waited 7 years.
Absolutely shook. Oh! What's this? What's this sound? What's this sound effect?
This user is also the attention seeker.
It is becoming more insufferable.
Seriously, are you normal?
So we decided to just go public with it and put eyes on him. And people wanted evidence, so we've been inviting people to our little server where we have the
toxic gossip train. Leviathans are coming for... Train conductors are coming for you.
Oh, you know what we need? We need a parody of this, but it is like train people, and it blends in like toxic gossip train. And then it has like an epic dubstep version of the Thomas theme song, and like it becomes like the Train Boy anthem.
Evidence.
Choo choo.
Listen to the survivors when they're in there and just look at the evidence and conclude it's nothing.
So wait.
But then, so we've been inviting people to our little server where we have the evidence.
I don't understand. This is so fucking stupid. This is so unprofessional and childish. Your little server. Come to my legally binding Discord server, y'all. Make sure you sign the NDA. That's how you get access to the NSFW zone. Remember, it's supposed to be like a non-disclosure agreement. That's what Muda said, I'm pretty sure, was like something about an NDA for this evidence. So, why can't you just put the evidence in the fucking video? Why can't you put that out there? It's already on the internet. If it's supposed to be something about like, oh, well, it's no longer going to be legally admissible once it's in a YouTube video. It's already on the fucking Discord that you run. So what's your fucking deal? Just if there's evidence, put it in the video. But then here's the thing too, is like the ultimate fuck you of all of this is that the actual, like, never lose sight of the fact that the actual video is still not out. The actual video about Camden Gerard Davis doesn't fucking exist yet. He hasn't... Oh, motherfucker. Fucking heating pad is being weird. The actual video doesn't fucking exist. he has been like working on it, and it's going to be like part 1 of the documentary about him. But the 10-minute video where he brainwashes influencers was just a trailer. And then there was the Charlie video, which I guess was also relevant, but also not relevant, but also not part of the series. But I don't know. It kind of feels like maybe you should have just made the video first and then dealt with all the backlash second. You know? Like, but I guess he felt like he needed to put something out. He needed... I mean, let's not beat around the bush here. He probably needed money. If you've seen the fucking live streams he was doing, where people were donating hundreds of dollars every few minutes and going like, yeah, kill this guy, ruin his life, let's find him. And I'm seeing like real YouTubers with check marks and shit in there, and I'm like, do you really want to co-sign this? Are you sure you want to be sending $20 to this cause? You know, internet anarchist or whatever. I'm not sure. I don't know. I guess that's up to you. That's up to you. But, you know, you see things like that. And, you know, yeah, he probably needed some, you know, legal fees or whatever. But, I mean, and I know it takes a while, apparently, for him to edit his videos. But yeah, this whole fucking thing, a big part of all of this, I guess, is because he's refusing to release the information until his epic cool drama video can come out to release it all. And it'll be like 8 hours long, and it'll be edited just like the God Cult one about brainwashing influencers. And it'll be just like overwrought theatrical bullshit. And it'll maybe have like a little bit more evidence, but apparently Muda has seen the evidence and it wasn't convincing enough for him. Like, there was a direct question from, I think Nick Diorio was like, so based on the evidence you've seen, you know, the stuff that you haven't, that hasn't been shown to the public, would you make a video about this? And Muda just immediately says, no. No, never would I make a video about this. Not in a million years would I make a video about this. So, like, even if you get access into his weird little NDA Discord server with all the evidence, apparently it's not even convincing. Apparently even the stuff we haven't seen is not convincing. The smoking gun that might eventually happen is not very convincing. But, yeah, I don't know. Just join my cool server with the evidence. It's fine.
People don't want to listen to the survivors when they're in there and just look at the evidence and conclude it's nothing. And,
I like that. They look at the evidence and conclude that it's nothing. But you say evidence, and so, but read between the lines of what he's saying here.
Server where we have the evidence.
So you go to the server, right?
People don't want to listen to the survivors.
But people go to the server with the evidence, and they don't want to listen to the survivors.
When they're in there, and just look at the evidence and conclude it's nothing.
So in other words, I believe what he's saying here, and I might be wrong, but how this sounds to me is, again, the evidence is just hearsay. It's just the survivors, quote-unquote, like, telling their side of things, and there's no actual evidence, probably. Because if there was evidence, then people wouldn't look at it and immediately conclude it's nothing, right? But it sounds like what he means by this is the evidence in question is the survivors that are on the Discord, and they aren't taking them seriously, so the evidence, therefore, is concluded as nothing. You know, maybe I'm wrong, but that's kind of how it sounds to me, and boy, if all of your extra bonus evidence is just more testimony from these people that, like, already people, like, one of them lives with you, you know, I don't know, not very trustworthy, you know. Also, please clean the hair off of your microphone.
And people are...
Don't use your brain, sir.
All these public attacks.
Why you are being over smart, Mutahar? Why? Listen and believe to the evidence, ma'am.
Not platforming any of us. Not wanting to talk to the survivors themselves. And when people do talk to the survivors, they're getting...
I don't believe the images of Camden are AI generated because there's video of him talking. He's buried somewhere in one of his live streams. The only footage we have, apparently, other than him growling, is video of him talking on a couch about, like, I don't know, emotions or empathy or something, some stupid shit. And he's, like, high off his ass. And again, when we saw this, it was just night and day. Like, he seems... Based on that alone, he seems just like a chill guy who's just, like, high and having a good time and just talking. And then Max is, like, this high-strung, shrimpy weirdo who's, like, hiding behind a voice changer and all of this several layers of, like, pedo-shielding and all of this, like, if you disagree with me, then you must be supporting them! And like... Yeah, I don't know. I just, you know, based on what I've seen of these two people, I would be more concerned with Max than the other guy. But shouldn't Max have convinced me? Shouldn't there be mountains of evidence of this guy? At least it does, you know, and I say evidence, like, all I need, you know, for me to be like, oh yeah, this guy definitely has this horrible cult. You know, this guy who has no social media presence and all of the footage of his social media accounts, it looks like he has like 1 or 2 subscribers, if that. Sometimes there were some that literally had zero followers on Twitter or whatever. Yeah, the guy who runs the cult definitely has no internet presence whatsoever, none to speak of. But I would be more willing to believe that. Like, if we saw more footage of him and he was crazy and he was frothing at the mouth and he was, like, talking about, you know, if he was like Tamir Kitan in that last video that I just watched, he wouldn't even need to, like, say anything outright incriminating. It would just be like, alright, yeah, you're concerning. I can see where Max is coming from with this. The big problem for me is that I don't get any kind of gut feeling about anybody in the video except about Max and the survivors. You show me the photo of fucking Camden guy, and I'm like, I'm getting nothing. It's not dinging at all on the weirdo registry. Maybe the growl, maybe the vampire thing, but who wasn't a weeaboo in high school in 2016 or whatever?
Attacked.
Anyways, what's he saying now?
Survivors themselves. Attacks. Not platforming any of us. Not wanting. And people are making all these public attacks, not platforming any of us.
Not platforming any of us. What does that mean? You want people to have you on their channel and, like, you just want more attention, basically? Not platforming any of us. What? God, that's like one of these terms, platforming. It's not even, I mean, it's not the good kind of Mario platforming, but it's like the fucking lefty buzzword version of platforming that's like, it's like punching up and punching down. How could you platform that person? Oh my god. Like, we haven't platformed you. You haven't... You're plenty fucking platformed on your YouTube channel that has more subs than most of the people that are, like, calling you out. So I think you're good. I think you're fine. Like, I have, like, a fucking fraction of the subs that you do. So does Lyrics. So does Xylee Gets Real. So does... I think even, like, Tommy C and all of them, and even FPS Diesel, everybody I've watched talk about him, except for Max, has had less subs than him, but we're all supposed to platform him? Is that what he's getting at? We're, what, supposed to invite him on for a fucking Vosh debate or something? Is that what was that?
Not wanting to talk to the survivors themselves.
I don't want to talk to the survivors themselves. I don't care. I just don't. I would love to talk to Camden Gerard Davis. I would fucking love to talk to Camden Gerard Davis. I would have so many things to ask him specifically. But yeah, I don't. That other than that, I don't know. You have a channel. You can that's your whole thing, is platforming the victims. So this apology video is now again turning into, like, finger pointing. And what about you? You did this. But I'm sorry, though. I'm sorry that you had to do this to me.
And when people do talk to the survivors, they're getting attacked. Just because they're transgender.
Okay, so, yeah, so I guess one of the people... I think there was a quote here. Let me see here. People were talking about this earlier. And Ark says, the claims that people are mad about platforming survivors because of transphobia is because of Red Pagan, a Max fan who had Spencer on one of her live streams for an interview. There were transphobic remarks made against Red Pagan, but most of the criticism was over the continued lack of concrete evidence and Spencer's oddly giddy behavior around recounting what Camden allegedly did. Red Pagan then allegedly made a community post claiming that the criticism and suspicions against Max and Spencer are actually a 5D psyop from Camden. Right. So apparently, I mean, again, this is like the classic, I saw an egg account with one follower on Twitter who said this mean thing to me. So clearly the entire, like, half of this country or whatever group you want to smear and denigrate is like, that they must all think this! I'm being harassed by this guy with one follower! Well, we know Camden is like a cult leader and he has no internet followers or presence or social media activity, so I guess it could happen to you. It could happen to anyone. Yeah, Spencer sus. I would have never believed it. So we got like 10 seconds of silence here while he, again... Babe, am I saying all the right things? Yeah, I'm saying all the right things, guys. Don't worry.
This has been very difficult. And I know if I could have just started with making everything clear from the beginning, maybe this could have all been avoided.
It's funny that you admit that now, because there's been so many people who have tried to... It's just... Like, what was the straw that broke the camel's back on that one? It must have been Mutahar. I mean, you can tell the ego, because, like... And there's a part in the video where it was Lyrics watching Max's stream, watching the... It was, like, the only surviving footage of that stream until he re-uploaded it, I guess, but... there's the whole part where Muta comes on and he was just like, well, you're not gonna, Muta's gonna say all the same things that I just said, but he's got a bigger channel, so Max will listen to him. And at the time I was like, well, Max also knows Mutahar, so like maybe there's something there, but no, I really do think, because it's like, a lot of people were saying the same fucking thing, until Mutahar said it, and then he listened. Like, suddenly a channel bigger than yours, a bigger fish told you that your weirdo, esoteric, nonsense, fucking psycho films about child abuse are kind of not helping or confusing, or like they're making people not understand what's happening. And only then did you finally listen. Like, it must have been him, it must have been Muta, it must have been that. It wasn't any of the other people saying, hey, this is batshit insane and makes no sense. And nobody even understands what you're fucking getting at with this video. And a lot of people think it's not even real and think it's like an ARG. And like, only finally when Muta says this stuff does he fucking listen.
And I take accountability for that.
Do you? I take accountability for all of those people that have wronged me. And all of those people that are attacking me in bad faith and trying to hurt my feelings, and... Right.
I just thought that if people wanted to know what was going on, they would just go to the podcast.
But the podcast is 4.5 hours of some chick rambling. That's not evidence or proof, and it's not digestible for people. The podcast he's talking about is the 4.5 hour interview with Spencer, which, like, I'm sorry, if there's anybody I trust less than Max right now, I'm gonna be real, it's Spencer. I'm just, like, I'm not beating around the bush anymore. This chick is really fucking suspicious. Like, I think everybody is starting to notice that. I mean, the other supposed survivors are too, with all of the, like, you know, she Camden my Gerard till I Davis, just like weird jokes about the dude's hairline and stuff, and like just stuff that has very little to do with anything that is actually, like, proof of this or that. Just, like, he was a weeaboo. He probably Naruto run. Things like that were their criticisms. And like, that was bad enough, but then, yeah, no, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna be real. If I listened to 4.5 hours of that podcast, I don't think I would wind up more on the, I don't think I would wind up agreeing more. I think it would just raise more questions and more red flags, and I think it would probably not be good for people to watch that, actually. Probably.
And we put the podcast on Spencer's channel to help her build her own platform, because survivors need more than just a voice. They need financial help. They need psychological help. They need medical care. They need a loving family. They need a roof over their head. Survivors need a lot. And I've been trying to provide that, and it's not enough.
I've put a roof over the head of one of them. I mean, like, I think Mutahar said a lot of it too in the live clip with Nicholas Diorio. He was talking about, like, you know, if you're like a journalist or something, no journalist in the fucking world would be taken seriously if the subject of their story was, like, financially dependent on them and living under the same roof with them, and also romantically involved, allegedly. Like, it's amazing to me that he even thinks this would be admissible in court, or, like, that this would be anything. It's fucking astounding to me that he thinks that this is, like, the way the world works, I guess. This is so, this is the Happy Meal fun toy equivalent of justice. Breaks all the codes of ethics, yeah. Another long, how long is this silence?
It's not enough.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 11, 12, 13, 14. Holy shit, Max! Jesus Christ, Max! What, did you need to pad this out for ads or something? What the fuck?
Feels like when we reach out for help, people just want to use that opportunity to attack us, to hate on me.
I'm sorry, though. I'm sorry that it feels to me like people just are hating on me and bullying me. You know, I'm curious now. I am curious. If I, just real quick, if I go... Hang on. If we go over here... Did not get a bingo with Tamir. But I wonder if we could really quick get a bingo with Max. I wonder. It's like, it's probably not. Oh, it's doing the thing again. I think it's doing the thing again. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Hang on. Hang on. Bingo me up. Bingo me up, Scotty. So, let's see. A little bit. I mean, it's a little bit. It's bushy, but it's bordering on neckbeard when you can see it. When you can see it. Definitely retard sage wisdom. Full sentence of nonsense. You know, not the same kind of nonsense as usual, but it's like articulate nonsense. There's probably fetishes involved, but not definitely. Rage, definitely quiet rage boiling under the surface. You can notice that. Hypocrite user claims to be bullied. This user apology video. Let's see. Doxing self or others. Not in the video, but I'll count it. Announcement. No. Okay. Well, we're close. I don't think we're gonna get one, but man, look how easy it is.
It's hard. This is really hard.
Wait, what do you mean I've got a bingo? It's actually frightening and Sangi, maybe? Yeah, maybe. I don't know if we need a Sangi just yet.
Let's just start from the beginning.
Okay, let's start from the beginning, halfway through this video. Just like that brainwashing video that took half of it before it got to any of the stuff about the cult or the victims. Right.
I met Spencer. She told me what happened to her. I told her I was busy with other projects, but if you need me to hand this to someone else, I will. She said, no, I want you. And so, a few years later, I finally came back, and I was like... Oh.
So... Right. So already, it's like the more you tell me about this, the more I get concerned. And you're like, so I met Spencer, and she told me about all this horrible stuff that happened, and then I was like, well, you know, there's probably other channels that could also talk about it, but she was weirdly insistent that it had to be me for some reason. So, years passed of this vampire cult leader apparently grooming children and downloading child porn or whatever it is he does. We just let years happen of that. He just did that for a couple years while we just, you know, yeah, I don't know. This isn't making your case very good, but sure.
You. And so, a few years later, I finally came back.
Had to have him.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
The podcast.
No, this is extremely urgent. We need the whole internet to rise up and find him now, even though they sat on this information for years. After having already sat on it for years, they apparently met each other in 2021. This whole shit with Spencer happened in 2016, when she was 16 and this other guy was 18. This is the most suspicious shit in the world!
And while I was there listening to her, that's when I realized this is going to evolve into something much more. Like, originally, I just wanted to do a podcast where we platform survivors and they tell their story.
There probably are. There's hundreds of them. I'm sure. How many of those hundreds were new, fresh survivors, fresh off the boat of survivordom, because you guys decided to sit on this for a couple years? Or, you know, like 7 or 8 years or however fucking long it's been. How many of those survivors, you know? Because it's been quite a while. So, like, you know, you didn't think to do anything about that. Okay. Right. I mean, even just like 2021 to now, and it's quite a lot of, that's potentially a whole lot of new survivors, I guess. I mean, it's good. A lot of people you can platform, so there you go.
But you can't just tell your story anymore. Now you need concrete evidence. Now you need to go to law enforcement multiple times. Now you need to consult with lawyers. Like, we can't just listen, can't just form survivor. Much more. Like, originally, I just wanted to do a podcast where we platform survivors.
Just wanted to platform
and they tell their story. But you can't just tell your story anymore. Now you need
oh my god, I love this appeal to any more. These days, when you need evidence and a jury to convict people, oh, the fucking liberals are ruining society, I swear to God. It's cancel culture is what it is. You need to get, like, evidence and like, the police involved and like, lawyers and what the fuck is that? Have you looked at my beard? It's so cute and glorious and I'm so epic.
Create evidence. Now you need to go to law enforcement multiple times. Now you need to
turn off that pesky legal system. That's what's happening. I can't believe these days, modern, current day Californian shit, when we can't just widely denigrate and smear a guy as being a pedophile across the internet. And have a literal hate mob track him down. You know, back in my day, in the 1980s, they would have had no problem with that, you know, the old 1980s internet.
With lawyers. Like, we can't just listen to survivors when they're screaming for help.
What about your survivors, Max? What about them? I mean, this is just so fucking stupid. You have to be doing this as a joke, right? I mean, that's like, I know I'm giving it too much credit, but he had people come out against him. Why would we not listen to them also then, sir? What the fuck? They literally have more against you than you do about this fucking Camden guy. Why would we not listen to them? Why would you ever promote an ideology, a mindset like this when you've already been canceled by like fucking 6 women or something. What the fuck? And a lot of the people like making claims against him, it also sounds like bullshit. From what I saw of the thing anyway, it also sounds like bullshit. There was fucking one of them who was like involved in some other nonsense drama that was barely even connected to fucking Max, because she just wanted to like promote her fucking OnlyFans or some shit, I guess. Like, you know, it's not all of that sounds legitimate either, but like, should we not also just listen to that then, I guess? I mean, like, this has to be like a performance. It has to be a point that he's making about, like, cancel culture and how you shouldn't treat people this way. This is so ridiculous. This is idiocracy. We are through the looking glass, people. It doesn't get, licking the window of self-awareness. Mark it off on your bingos if you have it, but fucking hell.
And that's why I've been taking all these creative, experimental approaches to try to bolster their voice.
Yeah, Edwin mentioned, indeed.
So that not only can they be heard, but they can be seen, and they can be addressed.
Seen on my channel. Or on a channel that's using my name in the thing so it bolsters my image. Right.
And I'm sorry to Charlie.
I'm sorry to Charlie for having done this to him twice. Now, by the way, this is apparently the second time he did this to Charlie. Like, it was a lot more subtle the first time. And I don't remember all the specifics, but essentially Charlie did not, like, retweet his fucking answer us or your pedophiles YouTube hashtag thing that he was doing. You know, because it was insane and fucking nonsensical, probably. So he didn't, and neither did Philly D, and so he, like, threw them both under the bus as being, like, not responsible or something. Like, I don't know exactly what it was, but it was something like, it was essentially the same thing he did with Charlie now, but to a much lesser degree. So this is the second time he's done that, and he still tried to appeal to Charlie and Philly D. It's funny then, again, that in that video he didn't tag Mutahar. I mentioned this the first time we looked at it. That brainwash your influencer thing, it has like everybody in there. It doesn't have Mutahar, and I guess it's just because Max probably assumed that Mutahar would be like he's definitely gonna have my back no matter what. Probably, I would assume that's what it is. Like, you don't even need to target him and spam him with bullshit and pressure him into talking about something, or else he's a pedophile. Nah, he'll already do it. I guess. I would assume that's what that was.
I really am sorry. I did not mean to make you upset.
Yes, you did. I don't believe that. You literally spammed him with, like, fucking 20 or 30 messages pressuring him, and yes, you did. You definitely did.
We just need help.
We need help.
So, instead of addressing all the random rumors that people make up and responding to criticism...
Yes, it's user chess on a larger scale, essentially. That's true. I mean, I'm assuming a lot of the YouTube drama nonsense tends to be like that, you know? Like, ultimately, it's just Sonic Sega Gamer raging at 12-year-olds on StreamYard. But instead of him, it's like Jeffree Star. You know what I mean? I assume that's what a lot of the YouTube drama is, but especially with this, where there's so much overlap between these videos and a lot of the fucking shit, a lot of the users, a lot of the, you know, people that are really entitled, really unaware of the fact that they're not right, really, you cannot criticize me, or you're bashing my opinion, you know, it's just there's a lot of user drama happening here, for sure.
And talking about the wrongdoings of other influencers, I'm just going to take accountability for my actions and correct them
It's so great. It's such a great, terrible apology video. It's like a classic. I mean, this is nowhere near like a toxic gossip train, obviously, but there's a very subtle element to this where he just keeps claiming he's taking accountability, and then does the sorry, we're sorry, and then the rest of the video is him shitting on other people. And, like, you attacked us, and I'm just trying to do what I can for the survivors, but I'm sorry. I guess I won't platform victims anymore. My bad. I guess society's just not ready for me to be such a saint. You know, I'm sorry, everybody. Here I thought we lived in America.
Starting now.
Starting now.
Let's just start fresh. First, we need to keep finding the remaining survivors. We know they are out there.
No, literally no. Fuck off and stop. No, the first and foremost, you need to provide some actual fucking proof, you fuck. That's what it is. You know, somebody had an idea, I forget which video it was, but one of the videos I watched about the situation, somebody was like, it's possible that he's looking for more victims, more survivors, so that maybe, hopefully, one of them will actually have something against this guy. Because, like, maybe just none of them have anything, and the reason why goal number one has to be to find more survivors is because, dear God, I hope one of them has some Austin Jones level proof, like, of him being like, please twerk and say your age for me, and in like a video where he also holds up his driver's license and today's paper, you know, like if we, oh God, if we don't have that, then this whole thing is gonna fall apart. Oh God, we need to find another video. We need to find another survivor that might have something on this guy, something real. That's what it fucking feels like.
Help finding them. If you don't want to help, you don't have to.
Yeah, I see the thing. I mean, it's just somebody... Yeah. $10 from Keygrass. Max has been accused of abuse. We need to listen and believe, which I do because he admitted to it. He also never even dated the girl he stalked. He is a creepy stalker who blamed mental health. Well, yeah, if you've... I would suggest watching the video from FPS Diesel talking about it. It's like nearly 2 hours long. I don't usually watch videos that are all like, this is the end of his career, but it was a good full, like, thing that went over his whole series of, you know, his original YouTube videos and stuff like that. It was pretty in-depth. And, yeah, he had just an incel series. I mean, there's no two ways around it. He had a series of videos that were basically just him, like, incel raging at why women won't touch him. That was one of them. Like, no woman will touch me, and I feel like dying, and I'm gonna kill myself, kind of thing. And it's him without his voice changer, so you know he sounds like a real badass. But, you know, they were pretty embarrassing, and I mean, again, those are, like, older videos, and a lot of this stuff is, I mean, like... The problem is he's brought a lot of people down to his level is the thing, where I would be... Normally I would be like, oh, I don't want to talk about, like, some guy's, you know, ancient videos. Like, they might be a little bit of fun. You watch an old Movie Bob video and, like, you know, whatever. It doesn't really reflect how boring he is now. His older videos were actually more entertaining, Movie Bob. But, you know, it doesn't really reflect how they are now. But he's brought us down to his level of, like, well... Because what he's doing is trying to out some guy for some fucking pretty inconsequential shit, it sounds like, that happened in 2016, fucking years ago. Well, I guess this guy's videos from, like, 2018 or whatever are kind of relevant, and his behavior from, like, a decade ago is kind of relevant. And normally I would be like, whatever, people grow up, let people be adults, but then, like, that's where we are now, is like, well, if you're gonna do this to this guy, then I guess all of the shit is relevant. It's all fair game, I guess. I guess we can just go back to when he was in high school and, like, stalked a girl. Because, like, that was, what, was that, like, 2013, I think? So, you know, a couple years more than the shit with Camden Davis. So, like, I don't know, it's not that far-fetched. It's not that far-fetched to you know, jump back that far. I mean, normally I wouldn't. Normally it's like, whatever, you're a fucking stupid teen. Like, I think the stalking thing, wasn't he literally like 17 when that happened? He was a child. He was a teenager. I think. Not certain. But, like, one of the things that I heard about him was something that happened when he was, like, still in high school or some shit. And it's like, yeah, I mean, that's embarrassing, but who among us can't say that we were, like, a cringe lord when we were a teenager? But this is where we are. I mean, this is what we're doing. That guy was also, I'm pretty sure he was also in high school at the time. The Camden dude. So he has brought us all down to his level of doing, like, really petty internet cancel culture drama about shit that happened a fucking decade ago that basically doesn't matter. That probably doesn't even reflect that much on who they are now, or you'd think so until you watch any video from Max and you're like, oh wow, you definitely do seem like that type of person. You certainly have that kind of presence and vibe. I can see that. You know.
But if you do, please reach out to me. We will invite you to our server.
Please, God, I need more survivors. One of you has to have proof against this guy.
The survivors and all of the evidence is
one of you must.
Next, we have to wait for law enforcement and multiple law teams who specialize in cold cases.
No, I just am so amazed. I'm so fascinated by the order of operations that he's constructed for himself here, where it's like, the first and foremost thing should be going to the fucking legal authorities. And then what you can do is you can factor that into your video when if they don't do anything about it, you can make that a part of your video that's like, we went to the cops, they had nothing to say. And then you get all the ACABs in your comments, and, like, they'll be really happy. But then, like, you also at least went through the proper channels first and, like, did your, you know, due diligence. But his first goal is finding more survivors because he desperately needs proof. And then goal number 2 is to go to the police. But also goal number 0 apparently was to fucking make all these videos accusing the guy before any of this. That was the real goal. Goal number 0 was to fucking just make this whole shit show happen, and then, you know, worry about the details later. Shoot first and all that.
Take this to them, as we have already done, and address it through the proper channels. When that is complete, or if that goes unresolved.
Well, yeah, somebody, Keygrass with $2, he was 20 and cut his arm and sent it to her BF. What, like he did a fucking self-harm or something? Yeah, apparently, I do think I am wrong about the ages there, because I think he was in college at the time, or, like, he was in the military at the time, and then he got kicked out of the military because, I think because of this incident, wasn't that it? Like, he sent a video, and then that was used to kick him out of the military, like, you're not, you know, stable, kind of thing. But yeah, he was apparently, it was what it was. It was the classic incel manifesto of, like, the girl that he stalked for years, and then he, like, gives her his diary or something, and it's like,
that boy that she's with is a Chad, and he sucks, and he doesn't deserve her. I deserve her.
And it was literally like that. I mean, it's very, very embarrassing. I mean, and we all have things that are embarrassing when we're young, but man, it's hard to ignore how embarrassing that one is. Although it's just that, like, you know, and again, you want to believe somebody grows past that, but you can clearly see, like, this guy, as far as he's concerned, it's still fair game to judge people for shit that happened, like, a decade ago, or nearly a decade ago, or over a decade ago. It's apparently fine, so, I mean, yeah, I guess it's, yeah, what the hell, Max? How could you have done that last week? That's crazy, Max.
Then we will drop the full documentary, or at least part 1 of the documentary. Or I guess at this point it would be part 2 or 3.
Oh my god! I can't believe it! I cannot believe it, chat. I cannot fucking believe it. We actually have some proof here. No, we don't even need this music. We actually have some fucking proof here, people. We have some proof. Not of Camden Gerard Davis. No, God forbid. What, do you think that would ever happen? No. $10 from Miss Rabble. He became infatuated with her in high school and continued to stalk and harass her. That's Mama Max we're talking about here. He was 20 when he cut her new BF's name in his arm and then attempted to endgame himself. Police reports verify. So, I'd like to point out police reports verify. That's more evidence than we've had of anything from Camden Gerard Davis. If that's true, and I don't know, I mean, you might be just making that up, but I don't think that's too far-fetched to believe it. I mean, I believe that's probably true. That's more proof. If there was a single police report about anything from like years ago, if there was anything like that, wow, that would really be something. Then that would really be something then. But no. Wow, we now officially have more proof that Max is a creepo than this Camden guy. Like actual proof. Like there's a police report, and also you can just look at his fucking videos and look at his slimy ass. But you know, wow, that's great. That's great.
But
thank you for the information.
We will show you everything.
Oh yeah, he admitted to. I do believe he admitted to at least some of that. Yeah, so I mean, stuff he's admitted to is more crazy than anything we have any proof of from this Camden guy. I mean, it's all testimony and like maybe screenshots of like a text or something, textimony. And then what do we have for you know, what do we have for Max as a creepy abusive weirdo? He police reports and he admitted it, you know? So yeah, that's just really interesting that there's now, it looks like there's now more proof. When you put it like that, it seems that there's actually more proof that he is that we should probably be scared of him and be concerned about him and not allow him around some section of humanity, rather than this Camden guy who we know nothing about. That's crazy. And I'm not saying either of them, really. I'm just saying if from this guy's logic, obviously, you know, from the Max's logic that, oh, well, Camden, we need to find him. Well, we got a lot more proof that you are a person of interest than fucking Camden. You know, unless the growl, unless it's literally just the kind of, I mean, we've joked that it kind of seems racist, you know, like him going after this guy, and it's just like, this dude probably did nothing, and there's no proof of it, and it's just this group of crackers trying to fucking swarm some black guy and his whole family. And like, it doesn't seem like it would probably actually be that way, but like that's the only thing is like, what else? I mean, what other? I don't know. What other fucking thing would he be trying to get across with all that? Like, hey everybody, here's the information. There's no information, but also ignore all the information about me. I don't know. Like, is it just a racist fucking dog whistle? Is he part of the alt-right?
I hope you can all understand my position.
Doggy?
We are living in a world where survivors scream for help and no one wants to listen.
He's somehow still making himself like the hero and the victim. That's the thing, you can tell. I mean, there's no... The mask is not off in this. Like, it's the same performance that he's been doing this whole time. That's the problem with this video, is that it's not... The kayfabe hasn't fucking broken. It doesn't feel like you've learned a lesson because you are acting exactly, like, tonally and everything exactly the same way that you have been, of you're the hero and they're all survivors and blah blah blah. This is not believable as an apology vid. It's very clear why you're doing this. and that it's just to save your skin, basically.
Children living in literal hell. And we can't hear them.
Oh my god, trigger warning, everybody. Guys, oh my god, there's a fucking trigger warning. Are you fucking ready for this? There's gonna be CSA and rape and loss of pregnancy. I thought that said lots of pregnancy. That would have been funny. Trigger warning! Trigger warning! I know we're 12 minutes into this. We're basically done this video, and I know that I was trying to get Mr. Beast with his mostly child audience to talk about this, but trigger warning! Oh my god, trigger warning! If you don't have the warning, you're never gonna be able to get through this. You're never gonna be able to get through this video if you don't have the warning. It's gonna be so bad for you. Oh my god, I weep for you. Oh my god, trigger warning! Pronouns!
That was the night where he had induced my last miscarriage. Like, he had convinced me to have someone bring me to his house. He beat me and then raped me.
But, you know, the transformation process is...
So here we have the proof, everyone. The proof. You know, people on the internet would never tell lies. No one on the internet has ever spoken a lie. That's true. That's just true. So... here's a mugshot of this guy, which, by the way, this mugshot that we're now using to make this guy look bad, that we apparently didn't have when the first videos came out to make him look bad, because this is recent. Like, it's not recent. This is from 2021, I think, this mugshot. Or no, I think it was from 2023, but either way, it was not since the first video. I think it was, like, early in the year 2023. This is a mugshot. This is a traffic violation, or like driving without a license or something like that. So it's interesting that they didn't have this mugshot available when all the footage we saw of the guy was him growling. But now we do, and it's just funny that we're not gonna see here that this mugshot comes from like a traffic violation thing, like some road crime. What we're gonna see is, look, he's a criminal. Look, he's a criminal. He's standing in front, he's a criminal. This is a mugshot, so he's a criminal. So you can listen and believe to the quote-unquote survivors, and it'll just immediately sound more credible and believable, because look, he's a criminal. It kind of looks like he's in jail for the things that maybe that they're talking about here, but no, actually, it was just like driving without a fucking license or a suspended license or something.
Really dangerous on your body, especially because you're young. So from there, she had me like put stuff in my body and told me to pretend it was like his penis. I was 14.
During the midst of it, I tried to scream. I was screaming no and screaming for help. And he put his hand on my throat and choked me and told me that if I kept screaming, he would kill not just me, but my family too.
I mean, this is getting into just like the exploitation of this too, because like, I mean, we are just supposed to like, I mean, this is so Chris Hansen. We are just supposed to like hear this and like, oh my god, he did not. Oh, I have a daughter and I feel so upset that if that ever happened to my little girl, oh heavens to Betsy. Oh, you scratched my CD. Oh, Mother Miss Liza. I forgot the quote from that, but yeah, I mean, it's like this, it's trying to like tug on your heartstrings, kind of. It's sort of like, please reach out to my Twitter, and you know, I don't know. I mean, it's uncomfortable to hear these sorts of things, but I also don't know, you know.
When it was done, he got off of me and he went across the room.
Goodness gracious me!
Saw me crying, and he said, "What just happened?" And I looked at him and I told him, "You just raped me."
Camden.
Yeah, it's very manipulative. I mean, it's very intentionally manipulative looking at this, because again, this is not a mugshot for a sex crime or a violent crime or anything. This is, he was driving without a license or something like that. So they're directly trying to manipulate you into thinking that this is more credible and more believable because they're showing, you know, by association, you see him like in a mugshot and you hear them talking about he did this and that, and so it makes you think that it's more like he's more dangerous or something than he probably really is. I mean, again, it's still all just hearsay, actually. If you close your eyes and don't look at the scary mugshot, you know, it's all just hearsay.
And I looked at him and I told him, you just raped me.
Camden Gerard Davis is a sexual predator and cult leader who victimized hundreds of minors on platforms like
This is the problem with this problem with this video. I mean, again, it's obvious that you haven't learned anything and this is performative, but like, if you had learned a single thing, it would have been to just fucking be careful. Like, stop calling this guy a sex predator and a cult leader. No, he's just full bore doing this. I mean, maybe he really believes it. There's a chance he really believes this, but like, I don't know what he must have seen to believe it that nobody else has fucking seen, because it's nothing. I mean, it's nothing. Somebody in chat was like, those clips might not even be about this guy. Like, yeah, those could have been just clips of like some other victim of another thing talking about. Probably not, but like, they're so, you know, non-specific, and I don't know, it's just, I mean, it's amazing. The main points that he was supposed to have taken away from all of this, he didn't, I guess.
And Whisper. He went under a few aliases such as Cade, Coin, Syncade, Geomara, and Godric, among other possible names. His cult went by the Guild of Divinity, the Daemons, and Eon Syndicate.
So why... Oh my god, I hate you, Max. I hate the way this is, like, what are we supposed to now look up this is an ARG. I mean, what he's done is make a fucking ARG where we're all sitting waiting for the new Monument Mama Max Mythos episode. You know, that's the pun. We're all waiting for the new episode of Mama Max Mythos, where he reveals more lore about the vampire cult, and then we can all speculate about the Guild of Divinity and the Daemons and Aeon Syndicate, and we don't have access to that information at an earlier time, not because of legal anything, but because of dramatic intensity. And, like, I can really ramp it up here, and people... Because my first thought was, well, what... When he shows the names of this cult, like, yeah, he's mentioned this cult this whole time. He's never once mentioned what it was calling itself. And so now there's names here. And what, are we supposed to, like, look up the names of the cult, I guess? I'm not going to. But, like, I'm assuming that the idea is to fucking play the ARG and look up the names of the cult titles that, you know, that he's got here. And then, like, in the next video that he makes, he'll reveal some more information you didn't know about Camden, and maybe that'll clue you in on something. I don't know. This is structured like an ARG. Like, we also didn't know these different aliases for this guy. If you really wanted people to find him, why are we just now learning about the names of the cult and the other aliases he went by? I specifically remember being very confused because there was a guy named Kincaid, and I think that I thought it was like he might have been like the second in command in the cult or something. But no, it's just an alias that guy had because the cult appears to have just that guy and whoever he was dating at the time, I guess.
Among other
But if you really wanted people if you're so desperate for survivors to speak out, then why are you just now telling us the name of the fucking cult?
Titles. Despite being reported to multiple different law enforcement agencies over the past 7 years, they are still active. Brainwashing emotionally vulnerable children, predominantly preteen girls.
Okay, being reported to multiple different law enforcement agencies. So where are the reports? I mean, where are the reports? Like, that would be easy enough to show, right? You would have a copy. If you report something, like, don't you get some kind of a copy of that to some extent? Isn't that what a police report would be? Like, if you have that? I don't know, but I feel like there would be some way to verify that. And, like, if the cops haven't done anything, then I'm sorry, there might just not be evidence of it, and there might be a reason why, which is that nothing's happened. Allegedly. Yeah.
Into believing they are supernatural creatures like werewolves and vampires, in order to seduce them.
You could have done another take, Max. That would have been okay.
Into illegal activities for monetary profit. We have a growing server of survivors filled with a piling number of evidence that we are saving for law enforcement and legal teams who specialize in complex cult cases.
This is so stupid, dude. Nobody is going to take this fucking case. Like, I was watching a video yesterday, I forget who it was about, but it mentioned how people... I think it might have been the Club Doom video about White Bowser. I'm not sure, but it was a video that was talking about, like, lolcows, and it mentioned that, like, a lot of the time, despite having, like, really obvious evidence of shit, of people saying that they're pedophiles and stuff, or whatever, like, Chris was in jail, and then they just let him go because of... And it's like... There's so many of these people that will have, like, evidence against them, and the police will get involved, and then it will lead to nothing, because it's this crazy online circus of nonsense and fucking, like, 4chan trolls and weens and, like, just a bunch of fucking children a lot of the time who are just, like, you know, muddying up what's real and what's not, and turning it all into fake news, you know? And so, like, your solution here, like, this isn't complicated enough. You even say complex cult cases. This is apparently international, has been happening for years, hundreds of victims, but you've decided to go and further complexify this. Further overly complexify this. Which I don't think is a word, but that's how complex you've made it, by bringing in the whole internet and influencers and everything. Yeah, there's no fucking shit. They're never going to do anything about this. You've pretty much guaranteed that if this guy is guilty of anything, he will get away with it. He will fucking get away with it because this has happened, and you people will have ruined any hope of fucking justice. God...
We have been advised to protect this evidence until our work with them is either complete or goes unresolved. However, we are still looking for the remaining survivors who were victimized by this cult, and we are kindly asking for your help to share this message. Notable.
So this is like a more... I think what he's trying to do now, he's trying to basically do what he should have done from the beginning. Admittedly, if this is how he started this, we would have all had a lot less to say about it. You know? Like, it would have still been, okay, where's the proof? But at least it leads with it, like, fucking best foot forward. Like, this is what's happening. He has a cult, he's victimizing people. Instead of all this crazy shit about brainwashing influencers and just a bunch of fucking garbage for clicks and literally for clickbait. Like, actually for the purposes of making people click on it and baiting them to click on it. And baiting them to watch it. Instead of doing all of that, this is what the first video about all of this should have been. And it still would have been no proof and no evidence of anything. But it would have been at least something. It would have been not confusing, at least. And so he's trying to, like, rephrase the whole thing without any of the additional context. Like, he's rephrasing this, like, we're looking for survivors, and we just need your help to share it. Notable influencers are invited to join, blah, blah, blah. Notable influencers. So I guess, like, it depends. If he decides that I'm not enough of an influencer, I guess I wouldn't be allowed to join, probably. You know, that's cool. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. No, actually, I don't want to be involved more. I almost want to touch the poop, but that's clearly what he wants, so no. I'm like, almost, yeah, put me in the server. Fine, I'll look at the evidence, sure. Yeah, sure. But, no, thank you, actually. I think I'm good on that. If you do so, I'll just leave. But, you know, I'm almost, you almost got me. But no, yeah, notable influencers, so if you're a bigger channel than me and you can make... You know, you can... It's just like what it is for me, it ends... The end of the argument is, he has done this, like, 3 times. Like, at least 3 times now, he has done this thing where the only solution to child predators is for other YouTubers to like, retweet Max's videos. Like, that is the apparently the be-all, end-all, the only way that any child predator will ever be stopped, even though he's never brought any of them to court. Apparently, none of them have ever been convicted because of him. But, you know, the only solution is to have notable influencers fucking, you know, retweet his video. That's the only way. Multiple times in a row now. Over the course of years, he's done this. And it's like, I just don't know. You know, fool me once, fool me twice, you can't get fooled again. You know, I just don't know about all this, you know. Kind of feel like there's gotta be a better way. I'm feeling like a housewife in an infomercial. There's gotta be a better way. And I think there is.
Helping us. We will continue making videos that promote this message, adapting our approach in response to the evolving environment. Once this phase is complete...
No, Steve J, don't touch... I mean, I don't even know what you would... You're not a notable influencer. You're not allowed to be part of this. You literally don't even matter because you're not a notable influencer. Like, you're basically just, like, not even people. Like, you just don't even matter, like, at all.
We will drop part 1 of the documentary. If you're a survivor of Camden Gerard Davis, please reach out to me. Thank you.
Oh no, I know about the ending.
No, what you saw was cringe.
Now that's a funny name.
No, what you saw was cringe. 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 No, what you saw was cringe.
The button's not stuck or anything, I'm just doing this over and over again.
No, what you saw was cringe. No, what you saw was cringe. No, what you saw was cringe.
This user...
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's a great ending. That's not his mom, it's Spencer. It's most likely Spencer. Yeah, it appears to be... It's probably Spencer. Although, no, actually, I don't think it might not be Spencer because the hair isn't, like, purple or whatever. So, I don't know, actually. This might be, like, a different survivor. Who knows? I mean, this might just be a friend or something, but somebody had to come and give him a big hug. That is so embarrassing. Holy fucking shit. I mean, it's not embarrassing that you got a hug or that, like, a man got a hug. It's not embarrassing for you to need a hug. I want to make it clear what's embarrassing is how obvious and transparent it is in your fucking apology video, quote unquote, to end it with a big ol' hug because you're just such a victim, aren't you, Max? You truly are the most put upon of all of Camden's victims, really. It's you, ultimately, that's had to deal with all of this. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. Just more embarrassing with every video. Like, I mean, but that's, I mean, I'm sorry, but this is, like, all-time apology. Like, this isn't as funny as like, a toxic gossip train, but this is, like, an all-time moment, I think, in an apology video. Like, I'm willing to say, even though this video is only 18 hours old, I'm willing at this moment to say that this is, like, this is up there. This is, to me, funnier by a considerable margin than that fucking guy who was... You remember the classic one was the guy who was running the fucking, like, CSGO gambling site or whatever the fuck, and he did the apology video, and he had his, like, dog come out, and he was, like, petting the dog and everything. This is like that, but this is, like, 10 times funnier and worse than that. It's so much more obvious and sympathy baiting. It's so... I can't believe anybody could have ever fallen for Max's shit, including me. I mean, including me. At some point, everybody, I think, had the wool pulled over their eyes a little bit, and if you didn't, I congratulate you. But, man, we all just were willing to just... And now you see this, and it's... I mean, man, this This is bad. This is a uniquely bad apology video. It's not as bad as some, but man, it's unique. Camden Gerard Davis at 11 minutes and 51 seconds. You know, I think that really says all you need to know, doesn't it, though? Because it's like, you know...
Part 1 of the doc.
Here's just, like, 3/4 of the way through the video, the actual cult leader is brought up. Like, we actually start talking about the thing that this whole thing is about 3/4 of the way through the video. That just sums up this whole scenario, really. This is just a huge self-pity party. How embarrassing, Max. I used to respect you. Can we normalize letting the hang on, I need the right music for this. Can we normalize letting the authorities conduct investigations, not YouTubers? This is coming from a survivor of domestic abuse, a former subscriber. I would not trust someone like you to have handled something like my case. Yeah. Reverend Cudgel, hey, there he is! Wow, he's touching the poop! How dare you, actually! But he makes a good point. I can't stress how poorly this was handled. You owe the survivors an apology. You also need to hand this off to someone who knows what they're doing. Of course, you need evidence, slug. Well, I don't condone this, but... I mean, yeah, you can leave a like if you have things to say about the thing, you can leave a comment, and this is a fair comment. I got no problems with this comment. It's a good avatar, by the way. Which one was your least favorite ice level, bro? 0% accountability, no mention of doxing, no mention of lying, no mention of false allegations, no mention of encouraging violence, no mention of re-victimizing, no mention of all the cringe, no mention of his own victims, still hiding behind victims instead of addressing his own issues. No one is against the survivors, everyone, well... If there are any, yeah, I wouldn't be against them if they're real. I feel like I'm being pulled in every which way. No matter how hard I try, I cannot make everyone happy. I feel like I'm in an impossible position. These are the words of a man who has spent the last 3 years telling people they either side with him or with pedophiles, by the way, lol. This video doesn't even address any specific criticisms, just word salad, pity parties, and no actual self-accountability. I'm really glad the comments are like this. Wow. I was really scared we'd scroll down and it would be a bunch of,
hey, it's okay, big guy. We appreciate all you do for us and the victims.
But no, people have finally fucking woken up. This is great. This is really great. Congratulations, public. Congratulations to all of us are in order. This shouldn't have been rushed. You are still collecting evidence and are just now contacting police. Come on, man. Max, if we just listened to the victims, your exes would have been able to have you thrown to the lions if they went unchecked. You have said yourself that the word predator shouldn't be thrown around like it means nothing. I really want to hope that justice is served, Max, but I can't stay subscribed to you if you continue to drown out the victims' voices with the drama you continue to engage with. I am sorry. Yeah, even the people that are trying really hard to give him the benefit of the doubt, like, there's all these people that seem to be fans of his that, whatever you gotta say about, you know, jokes about, you know, haha, the types of people that be his fans, but, like, no, I mean, these people, some of them really want to be on his side, but it's not happening anymore. This is so bad. This is so bad. Wow. None of these are positive. I can't believe it feels even more echo chamber, but it doesn't have a community. It's literally within his own head. The fact that you couldn't directly apologize to Magnetar says everything. Scam artist, Fruad, and manipulator. Max, me, Muda, and Nux. This is apparently someone. I'll give you exact instructions on how to handle this both publicly and privately. On your last live stream, which you lied to us that you weren't planning, you then mentioned how a lawyer gave you the exact advice I did, and yet you still went against it by streaming. Even in this video, you frame it like Spencer is some stranger who came to you for this story, when you've both admitted in the past that you've known each other since high school. Your GoFundMe is a scam and your career is over. I like to believe in the best of people, and you took advantage of that quality in people. My disappointment grows each day. Well, since high school, huh? I mean, because he's also known Magnetar since high school, and, like, also, they fucking know each other, she, like, knows his sister. What is this? Why is this just some guy's, like, shitty personal fucking high school drama that he's still engaged in when he's, like, 30? What the fuck is wrong with this guy? And all of these fucking people, Jesus Christ! You're in over your head with all of this, even if you have good intentions with plans to act. The way you've conducted spreading information about this case too soon, while incomplete, has led to your downfall. This is too much for you to navigate on your own, or even with a small team. You're unintentionally fucking their case over in this process. I hope things end well, but it seems pretty unimaginable at this point. And then this comment really, once again, summarizes the whole thing. Well, also this one. The fact that you're housing a survivor completely dependent on you, who's also the money manager for this whole operation, is sus as hell. Indeed. Indeed. I think that'll do it for the comments, but congratulations to the comments for having woken up and broken the conditioning. The conditioning has been broken. And I offer you all a big ol' hug. A big ol' hug to the survivors of this video. God. Alright, well that's the stream. Thank you. Tip your waitresses. I'm gonna be reading super chats now. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you've had fun. This has been a wacky one. And this will also include the super chats for the other stream that ended after like an hour or something, so we're gonna have, oh, would you just, come on now. We're gonna have a bit to go through here. Let me see. You know, I have the perfect thing, actually. I have the perfect thing. It's always good to have a selection of hip-hop instrumentals for the background. You know, if you got the whole rap going, it's gonna get in the way of the voice. It's gonna be conflicting. It's gonna be confusing. But just a little instrumental, a little secret Method Man in the background. That's fine. Let me see here. $5 from Reverend Cudgel when you get the chance, and not safe for the stream to see. Channel Joel Baird video C7 cut to the 31 minute mark. Okay. Let me see here. Close out the max hug. Joel Baird. Okay, he's got a self-interview. The video is C7. He's got a video here called Early Trans Evil Cleric. Alright. Was it C7? And video C7. Yeah, I'm not seeing that on here. It might have been removed. But I mean, the channel itself looks like it could be something. I see C9. I don't see a C7. If you can link it on the server or something, maybe go for that. But I'll save the channel for the next time. We didn't even get to the zoophile who drinks his dog's milk. What a shame. £2 from James Smith. Google Images, Molly Hale is my friend, car floor. Okay, well, we've looked at this fellow before, but I assume this means, like, specifically his floor, the car floor. He's got, like, a disgusting car floor. Where would that be? I'm not seeing it. Oh, well, there's this. No, never mind. It's not opening. It was an Instagram thing, and it's not happening. I don't know. No, I'm not seeing it. There's one with a car, and it's the South Park characters. Yeah, I don't know. Does he do this a lot? Oh, r/South Park. Right, here it is. Here it is. Yeah, okay, I found it. I did find it. Yeah,
Sitting on the floor in back of cars is fun to do. I love doing, and I have loved since I was 4. It's fun to sit on the floor of the back of cars. I love sitting on the floor in back of cars.
Great. Well, thank you for bringing this to our lives. Thank you. 5 CHF from Super Mario Hack. This kid is what happens when somebody spends all of their childhood consuming Gacha Life content. Well, that's what I'm saying, you know, we're getting to the point now where for years it has been okay to be like, oh, they're just kids, it's fine. But now it's like, well, I don't know, a lot of these people who were just kids are now just adults, and a lot of the people that are in their community are still just kids, and they don't have much of an understanding of, you know, the law and morals and things like that, and mankind and the world they live in. So it can be concerning, you know. £2 from James Smith. Max apology reaction, please, 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 please. Well, you got it. I set $100 price tag on it because I kind of didn't want to watch Max again. I don't want to really be involved in this whole fucking stupid, petty internet drama that he's crafting for himself. But Alan Sampson dragged me back in. 5 CHF. Sorry, £2 from James Smith. £2 is basically $100, so Mama Max reaction. Well, it happened. Don't worry about that. $2 from Paige Hernandez. No work due to weather, so happy to catch this live. Well, thank you for stopping by. This was quite a stream. $2 from Edgelord Leon. Dayton Hypernova was one of your first users. That's true. It's true. He was. Again, if somebody can get me access to Dayton Hypernova, like a bunch of his videos or something, I would love to revisit Dayton Hypernova. I have no problem doing that. It's just that that podcast apparently has like fucking exclusive rights to his life. So I don't know. I don't know that that's I don't know that those videos are really publicly available necessarily, but they kind of shut things down with that. I haven't even fucking seen Dayton Hypernova since the pandemic. I know his, father died. No, his brother died. His father might have also died by now, too, but his brother died. The guy who looked like Joe, what's his name? John Bernthal or whatever. The fucking Punisher. The brother died. So, you know, shit's been happening with Dayton, but I don't really know what. $2 from M and Metfees. So, does this count as a bingo board reset? What? The restart of the stream? No, not necessarily. We were watching the Tamir stuff at that point. 5 months member Oofies, or 4 months member Oofies with 2 eyes. Hey Claw, sorry I haven't caught your streams in a while. I'll be able to stick around until my dentist appointment today. Well, you know, I hope that it goes or went well. You know, this was probably a good one to catch. We wound up with like 1,000 people here at some point, so I hope they had fun. $100 once again. Thank you, $100 from Alan Sampson, the fucking real MVP over here. And if you'll permit me, Alan Sampson, this user right here. Mom maxing time. And I want to thank Cyrus our Wrangler, Gondre, Nutmeg, Imber, Sleepy, Peter the Griffin, Lois, and those are all our D&D people. Mega Man, Shadow the Hedgehog, Durzo, Blint, Stinga Flynn, Belwar, Disongulp, the 365 pages I will ever get back, guys. Terry Pratchett, and the users on the server. Well, there was a very good, weird collection of people there. I don't even know who Stinga Flynn is. If that's a thing from something that I like, then I'm probably not far enough in the thing that I like then. But yeah, shoutouts to Lois, whose name was actually like, I don't know, Darla or something, but I'm on an ongoing quest ever since we found a baby griffin and named him Peter. You know, I'm on an ongoing quest to name to get the full party, the full Family Guy party. So when a satyr stole some of our people's names, it was the perfect opportunity for them to become Meg/not Meg. And what was the other? We had a guy. His name got stolen, and he became Stewie and then Brian. But then we fed him to the wolves, basically. But anyways, it's been fun. It's been a good time. Thank you very much once again, Alan Sampson. Nice to have you back in the D&D games as well. Thank you for all your diligent work with the Sonic Sega Gamer. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, it's funny. Just like we look at Mama Max, and like he's so content to, you know, he's so supposedly intent on saving children. That's his whole claim. And it's such an obvious fucking, it's such a farce. It's so obviously full of shit. And the way that you know it's full of shit is because he's, like, how many fucking people have we looked at recently who have been abusing children? We've got Tamir, we've got like one every stream. There's the Ezra document. Buddy, if you wanted to save fucking children, I have done so much more to do that than you, like, ever have, pretty much. I'm gonna be real. Like, just like in this past week alone, I've been doing more than this whole fucking campaign you're on now about God Cult. Fucking hell. Just, Tamir, like, all these people, every time, every stream, we wind up having to raise a Sangi for someone and raise awareness. I've done so much. I'm such a hero. I am such a fucking saint. Frankly, you should all be thankful that I decide to out pedophiles the way I do. I'm basically like a Mother Teresa if she had a sex change. I'm like a Father Teresa. I'm like Mama Teresa Max, you know. $5 from let me see here. Oh dear, $2 from Oofies with 2 eyes, 4 inches. Damn, I guess my BF got a micro peen too. I don't think you'd need to throw your BF under the bus like that. I sure hope. Man, what a shame. I mean, just what a shame for him that. Oh no, don't. That's not. It's. I don't know that you need to. I don't know that you. I don't. That just reminds me of the, like, Futurama scene where the guys are as the kids say, rizzing up Leela, and Fry just starts going like, no, she's got plenty of meat on her bones. She's not too skinny. She's almost fat. She's like fat even. And she just like slaps him. Like, yeah, I don't know. You can. I think you can stop sticking up for him now. I think it's fine. It's okay. You've done. Just that's all right. $5 from Emin Metfies. Mama Max is afraid of Tamir Kitan. That's why he won't cover him. He knows his maxi patties are no match for the Shins woman and the organization. Yeah, we only watched one of his new videos. He had a few, Tamir. He had a few very sus-looking ones. We'll have to get back to them. I mean, if they're still available by the time I do, but, you know, some very suspicious stuff. $2 from Donnie Lurch. I'm just Tamir. I'm just Tamir. Teenage girls should not come near. There you go. That's the rhyme. That's perfect. Baneblade, member for 3 months. Get a Lotus user over here. Max made his mandatory apology video, so now it's all good now, and he's free from all criticism. Smiley face. Yes, absolutely. That's how it works. Yeah, that's how it works. No, I don't think people have been taken to it super warmly. $5 from Reverend Cudgel. According to Muda, Max's ex used to wear a vial of his blood. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's pretty fucking strange. It is sort of one of those, you know, you're consenting adults or whatever, but it does come back to, like, I guess that's the level we're on now, like, of just like, yeah, well, this is pretty weird, so look at this. I mean, like, you want to talk about vampire cult? That sounds like some fucking vampire shit. I don't know, like, I've known, there's certainly people that are into, you know, blood play and stuff, and it's not like the most absurd thing, but like, yeah, I mean, I guess it's as crazy as it's more crazy than any of the actual evidence we have against this fucking guy that we're all supposed to hate, so like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, that's very odd. That's very odd. A vial? A whole vial! Wow! What is that, a gallon of PCP, the whitest kids you know sketch? A whole vial? A vial? Wow! Yeah, I mean, A vial of blood. A vial of blood laced with PCP. That's the way we're gonna spin the story. No. That is strange. I mean, that sounds very... What happens if she, like, falls and, like, the vial breaks? Like, she falls down the stairs. You know, she slips on the ice or something, and then the vial breaks. And there's just blood everywhere. And it, like, there'd probably be cuts. Like, it would get in... Oh, God. Oh, that's very impractical. I don't understand why... Okay. No, I guess there's no proof of that. That's Mudahar apparently saying that. I did not... I think we heard that from different sources or something, because I definitely didn't hear that on the fucking Nicholas Diorio interview. But, alright. Very, very strange. £5 from Tapeworm. Sigh. I'm sorry you didn't like what I did. Check out my god cult! Guard my our descendants. Yeah, I mean, you know, you gotta guard his descendants. He's not gonna be able to provide for the family he's gonna start with Spencer, you know. Allegedly. Not gonna be able to provide for all of that. You know, if he doesn't have the Patreon money. There's a good moment in the lyrics video that was like him specifically being like, we need to protect the survive. It was for a different thing. It was like a year or two ago, but it was the same shit. It was him dressing up as fucking, like, Hotline Miami characters and being all, protect the survivors, help them, get their stories out there, save the survivors. And I'm pretty sure it, like, linked to his video or his Patreon or something. Like he had a link to it, and ostensibly it was for all this survivor shit, and I think it did, like, ultimately link to his, like, monetized video and his Patreon and stuff. So, $5 from, Reverend Cudgel. This elf just feels like a girl convinced her current boyfriend to ruin an ex that she did weird stuff with when they were young. Well, yeah, but think about all of the other, you know, the other people, too. There's all these other... victims. There's so many victims. I can't think with all the victims. There's just so many. I'm busting with victims, Jerry. I'm busting. That's not okay. I don't know if you want to. I don't know if I'm busting with victims. that's George Costanza and more Tamir. I am busting with victims. You can really get that video. That's coming up next. $10 from Evan Metfees. So who wins with no weapons? We're not doing these battle royale scenarios, man. No weapons, no prep time. Tamir and Max. The Predator versus Prey, who fancies himself as Predator. I feel like Tamir would ragdoll Max's shrimpy ass and break Max's shins. Well, yes. I mean, obviously that would be the outcome. Max is a very... Max is like a more presumptuous Dogs Eating Dogs 6. Max is like a Dogs Eating Dogs 6 who insists upon himself. You know, like he's like a less respectable Dogs Eating Dogs 6, honestly. I don't think there's a lot of bite behind that bark. You know, I mean, maybe there's bite in the form of, I'll take down your video, neener, but I don't think, you know, actual fight or something, probably not. But also, I mean, I would give Tamir the edge on most people. I like how I said we're not doing this, but we are, I guess. I would give Tamir the edge on most people. I mean, you would have to, like, pair him up against, like 3 Chris Chans or something, and then I would maybe think, well, even then, Chris Chan is not him. Maybe, like, if you had, like, 5 Randy Stairs, maybe one of them could manage to hit him with a shotgun. You know, like, I think that would even the odds a little bit. Something like that. Tamir would be pretty unstoppable. Tamir and the Sonic Sega Gamer would be pretty high level in the Battle Royale. $2 from Oofies with 2 eyes. A foolish samurai user wielding a basher sword. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the takeaway, folks. He's the user. He is the black vampire basher, frankly. You know, that's what we've learned about that. $10 from Keygrass. He is a predatory individual, and he lied about getting people arrested and said Patreon subs give children a voice. Literally a grifter con artist who got no convictions or even arrests. That's how it seems. That's certainly how it seems. Chat member who said those things and not me. That's certainly how it would seem to me as well. Yes, he definitely. I agree that he comes across as very predatory. Like I couldn't quite put my I didn't know anything about Max's whole like blood vial thing. I mean, I didn't know about that at the time, but you watch some of that video, that it's that whole voice changer thing. It comes across like he's the most embarrassing daddy dom ever. And so that's kind of it, like the predatory aspect of like, it reminds me of that one movie with the guy who was like, hey baby girl, the one movie that was like the main character movie on Twitter for like a week, that it was like some I don't know, TikTok slop trash movie, but it was like, well, I forget the line exactly, but it was something baby girl, and everybody lost their minds, and that's the vibe of every Mama Max video, is that guy in that scene, or Christian Grey or some shit. It's like very, I think that's what he's kind of going for too. So I mean, because he's trying to go for that like corpse husband thing, and that's the same kind of demographic. Yeah, the predatory individual, that was definitely a thing I picked up on immediately. I don't know about all the other stuff. I mean, I know that he's said that there's a lot of... He's said specifically that there's stuff that he's made up in a lot of his videos. I don't know that he's... I don't know that that we're confirmed about people... Like, he lied about people getting arrested. It's... I mean, I think we know, though, that he didn't actually... That nobody got arrested because of him, though. So, I mean... If he has ever said that somebody did, then that would be that. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know, but I do that Patreon sub thing does sound very similar to what I just said about like, there was a thing in that lyrics video that was about like, yeah, give the children a voice, give the children a voice. The children need to have a voice. Here's my Patreon, or something like that. I don't think it was exactly that, but that was kind of the vibe. $10 from a funny man's. Max faked the story of Casey in his IMVU video. He pretended it was real for years before admitting it was fake in a recent live stream. Why should we believe any of this when he lies about CSA for money? I mean, exactly, yeah. I mean, I remember that part of the... I forget which video it was, but... Yeah, it was him saying, in the video, he said that Casey killed herself or something. Casey, you know, took her own life, I think was the phrasing he used. And then it was like a recent, it was another stream or like an interview thing that he did where somebody asked, like, the fate of Casey, and he said, well, she is alive. And that was kind of the thing where it's like, okay, so Casey's probably not, I mean, which is it? Is she... I mean, even if she is real, why would you lie about her killing herself just for drama? That's so exploitative and weird. And, I mean, it's great that people are seeing that now. Nico Carrero with $5. Max should have tagged the Super Origami Kingdom instead of Critical. You know, they would have actually... You joke, but they probably would have actually glommed onto that. They would have... I can totally see the user rant about Camden Gerard Davis. Just like, this user bullies children, and he is the vampire. That's right, Simon Belmont. You know, Worm with $5. Camden Gerard Davis. Leviathans are coming on you. Oh no, not on me, no. That would be so sticky. €5 from the Irish Otaku. How much of Mama Max is intentional and how much is stupidity or mental illness? Well, that's a question you could ask of the whole fucking stream I do, really. Everybody we look at on this fucking channel, basically, you could ask that. $5 from Agumon T1. Downward spiral, downward spiral, downward spiral, downward spiral, downward spiral. Downward spiral, downward spiral. I'm a fucking male boy. That's right. $2 from Em and Medfees. Come on, Claw. Speculative locale death matches are fun. That's true. They can be. For fun and profit. $2 from Alan Sampson to round us out. Correction, Marcus is our wrangler on Saturday. That's right. We have a person who's the designated driver. They even made a... They're an alchemist, so they made a... an anti-hangover potion thing for people. Unfortunately, it doesn't help with the multiple kinds of drugs that my character has taken a liking for. There was the butterfly meth at first, but then I found some like little leprechaun gnome men in a tavern, and they were smoking peace pipe or something. I just walked up to them and I was like, I am a member of the federal authorities around here, and I will be confiscating all of your drugs, and also you must now call each other by each other's names by law. And like, and it was pretty great. It was pretty great. And it was like some kind of weird purple mushroom glowing drug. I don't think I've tried it yet, but I'm very excited to try it. Don't do drugs, kids. I would never recommend such a thing. Oh yeah, and $2 from Nico Carrero. Max sounds like a Goa'uld from Stargate. You know, I don't know much about Stargate, but I know that there's a song from Star One about Stargate. I think it's what is it? I think it's Songs of the Ocean or something. I've been watching the show Blake 7 recently because it's related to old school Doctor Who. It's from the 70s BBC. It was made by Terry Nation, who made the Daleks. I think he's also Canadian, so that's based. But it's this British sci-fi show. And there's also a song by Star One, Ari and Anthony Lucason's Star One project, of course, offshoot of Arion and all of that. The song Intergalactic Space Crusaders, one of the best songs on their first album, and it got me into this show. It's a really interesting show, I gotta say. For a fucking, if you've ever seen old Doctor Who, it can be kind of slow moving and the pacing can be kind of you know, and like it stretches the episodes out. Sometimes it'll be like these fucking 4, 6, 12 episode serials that are all like, oh my god, I'm kind of sick of this like 2 sets that they have to do this episode in. It's not all of them, but a lot of them that can kind of drag a little bit. Blake 7 is nothing like that. It's like a modern TV show. It's like paced interestingly. There's cool, weird, well, not super weird, but there's like cool, intriguing stuff in every episode so far. I'm like 4 episodes in or something. It's really good stuff so far. And I would recommend it if you're interested in that sort of thing. You're probably not though, but also $2 from Em and Medfees. Downward spiral go, downward spiral go, downward spiral, downward spiral go. That's right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Well, Mama Max's continued downward spiral. I gotta go do a podcast basically immediately after this, so I don't get to eat lunch today, and that is why I am also a victim and a survivor of Camden Gerard Davis. So thank you everybody once again. Thank you to Alan Sampson for funding the Mama Max video. I literally would not have done it. It's not that I couldn't have done it without you. I very easily could have. But I would not have done it without you. It was pretty fun to do it. So the hug at the end was I think worth every, I hope for you at least. I would say for me it was worth the time spent on it, but the hug, I hope that was worth it for you, man, because that was a good moment. So thank you once again everybody. We'll be live again, I don't know, maybe tomorrow. My back's like a little better now, you know, it feels a little better now because I've been sitting here with my heating pad, but then I don't know, we'll see. If I'm bound to my fucking chair tomorrow again, maybe I'll do another stream, but I'd like to take a little break, I don't know. We will, whenever I am able to move properly again, I'm probably gonna fucking risk it and just do another cooking stream, because it was a good cooking stream. I just have to get more, like, utensils and stuff. I have to get a fucking table that can hold all of my shit. That's the new meta. I'm gonna get a folding table That's the idea. I'm gonna get like something that I can easily like put away when I'm not using it, but just a little folding table that I can put off to the side, where I can put some of the stuff like the old ice cream and mustard and hoisin and mayonnaise and ham sandwich. I can just put that off to the side for a moment, you know. Well, and you know, and when I don't need that, I think I might do that. I might invest in a table. For the cooking streams. I think that would probably make it a little better. Probably get some more dishes and shit too, you know. Again, I literally used every single potential, and I don't say literally figuratively. I try very hard not to. I try to only say literally these days when something is literally literal. I literally used, outside of like drinking glasses, every other cooking thing in my home. Okay, no, wait, that's not literally true, actually. Okay, no, because I did have one more cookie sheet thing that I could have cooked in. I had, like, a baking pan thing for, like, brownies. I could have, like, made a lasagna or something. That would have been the one thing I had left. Everything else, though, all my plates, all my forks, knives, spoons, bowls, my fucking wok, my fucking pots, everything was in use. Everything was filthy and caked on. My slow cooker, all in use. So, yeah, next time we'll probably try to work on that a little bit. Anyways, thank you everybody once again. I'll see you next time, hopefully tomorrow, or whatever, whenever. Tomorrow, next week, next month, who knows, we could fall into a, we could have an earthquake or something. I mean, it could happen at any time. Also, I guess if you... Shoutouts to, hey, if anybody knows anything about virtual machines and you're in the thing, leave me a comment or mention to me on the Discord or whatever. Why is 86 bucks not... I got a Windows 98 going, right? Why is it not accepting my Xbox controller, my fucking like second hard drive? That's the main one, because I've run out of space for bullshit now. These like 98 games are starting to get massive. They're massive games that are like 100 megabytes or something, and they really pile up quick. So if you can tell me how to fucking set up a second goddamn hard drive on this thing, that would be really cool. Just leave it in the fucking the unlisted gang comments, I guess. I don't know. It's a long shot, but maybe somebody can help me troubleshoot. Also, my MIDI keyboard would be nice. I want to make music on an old fucking, like, old 1998 version of Cubase or something. I think that'd be fun. Anyways, penis and cheese. Take it easy, folks.